so we're just gonna jump right into this, guys. It's like I said, I'm really excited to talk about this particular movie. But Overlord, like I mentioned, is in 2018. It's pretty much about, to kind of give you guys a quick synopsis of it. It's based on the day of D-Day, which was June 5th, 1944. So they're pretty much a group of parachuters are tasked with going behind enemy lines to disrupt or break or destroy a Nazi or Third Reich radio transmitter that is used to jam the airplanes for the Americans during the storm of Normandy. Oh, I'm sorry, the storm of Normandy on beach. We're just gonna jump right into this one. So, like I mentioned in the intro, or in the beginning part of the movie, this is Overlord, and the synopsis or a quick story or background of it is based in D-Day, or the day of D-Day, which is June 5th, 1944. And the whole movie is primarily based on a group of paratroopers who are tasked with the responsibility of jumping into enemy lines, which is the Nazis behind the Nazis' enemy lines, and their job is to destroy a radio tower in a fortified church within a small French town that the Nazi crew or the Nazi regime has taken over. The radio tower is basically stopping any transmissions from the ground to the air in terms of the storming of the beach of Normandy. There's a lot of history in this, so if you don't know a lot about D-Day, YouTube it. I mean, there's documentaries for that kind of stuff, but it definitely is a unique dynamic. But pretty much just what the story is for, and then long story short, or more down the line, once they get behind enemy lines, they start to realize that the Nazis are doing some, we just call it some nefarious things. They're doing some things that are not common, and they're pretty much creating zombie super soldiers. There you go. You guys know the whole thing, but it's a good watch. I enjoyed it, and there were some things that I really liked about it, but there are some things I hated, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Main thing, or first thing I want to go over first is the characters. It had a unique list of characters that I thought were pretty awesome. We're really only going to talk about the main characters in this case. I mean, this is an army movie, so there's a lot of people that go boom. There's a lot of people that don't make it to the end of the credits. You know what I mean? So the main characters in this case is going to be Private Boyce. He is played by Jovan Adepo. He is the main protagonist of the movie, aka good guy. Then you have his corporal, who is Corporal Ford, who's played by Wyatt Russell. He's kind of like a Clint Eastwood, like, you're feeling lucky, punk. He's kind of like that kind of guy. He's really, like the true blue, traditional American military colonel that you see in most of these kind of movies within that time frame. And then you have Chloe, and Chloe is played by Mathilde Oliver, and her role is unique. She is one of the occupants of this taken over city, but she plays a key role in the movie throughout the duration of it, and you kind of get to know more about her character. And then we got the main dude. Man, this dude was cold. His name is I think he was a sergeant or a colonel, one of those two, but his name was Waffner. He was in charge of the soldiers within the town, and that his name is Palu Asbeck. Lord, I hope I said that right, but Palu Asbeck, and he is the antagonist, aka baddie or bad guy of the movie. But then you have some one-off characters. One main guy is Tibbet. Sorry, his name is Tibbet, and he's played by John Magaro. He's more of the comedic relief of the movie. Like he's one of those guys. He's kind of like the Roach. He doesn't die. everyone shoots at him, but he gives you a joke and limps into cover. He's one of those, but he gave you a good dynamic to the movie, and I really enjoyed having him in there. And then last but not least is, which I still don't understand why they did this back in the day. I guess is to preserve history, or to give us photos to put in our textbooks about D-Day and World War II. But his name is Chase, and Chase was the photographer of the jumps. And he's played by Ian de Castecker. That's his name, Castecker. So these couple of characters is pretty much the duration or the dynamic of the entire movie. But they were pretty awesome. I mean, through and through. So we'll just start with the beginning of the movie. The movie started off like a traditional movie, or a paratrooper, or military movie. They go in there, they're all sitting in the plane, they're kind of giving their backstories, and you soon find out that Private Boyce was not there by choice. He basically, it seems like he was drafted into the military, and he was a new guy. He didn't know anything about military. He just came off the street, and they probably put him through. This is in the middle of war, mind you, so they probably put him through a bang basic training. Like, here's the gun, point it that way, you're good to go. Kind of like that. So they did that, and they put him on the plane, and he is basically, scared in his boots, in terms of jumping for the most part. And then it goes through all the main characters. You learn about Chase, you learn about Tibbet, and you learn about Colonel, it's either Corporal or Colonel not Waffner, but Ford. And you soon find out that Ford was assigned to this paratrooper group at the last minute. They never really explained why that went down, but you find out that he was assigned to those guys. He doesn't really talk to them. He's more of that lone wolf, that bad guy. Like he's like he's one of those guys. But and then surprise, I believe the sergeant or the jump master that they call it. It was you guys seen him. It's his name is so unique. What is this? Bokeem Woodbine. You've seen him in a couple movies. He has a couple credits to his name. He's one of my favorite characters, but he always dies within the first 10 minutes of every movie. But yeah, he is the jump master of the plane, and he has he's one of those guys that was fearless. He's the one that pushes all the paratroopers out of the plane. But yeah, that's pretty much the main characters. But one main, and I would say amazing part of this movie was the beginning couple scenes or parts that I saw, from the dynamic of the characters to the jumping out of the plane. Because mind you, this is in the middle of war, so you have heavy artillery shooting from the sky. Just kind of paint this picture really quick. It's like a traditional World War II movie. So you have heavy artillery. You have the old school, I think they were B-52s. You have the B-52s flying in the air, and then it was like calm before the storm. It was super quiet. Everyone was getting ready. They turned the light on and say, "Hey, we're finna get ready to jump." And then, excuse my French, but then all hell broke loose. Planes were blowing up out of the sky, and people were just getting shot down. And then next thing you know, their plane gets shot in half, and now they have to do an emergency jump. And I tell you, this scene alone was just insane. It was a lot going on. One thing I want to kind of preface or backtrack with this is is guys understand, like I mentioned earlier, it's a Nazi zombie movie. So this movie is obviously rated R, and it's very graphic. So there's a lot of blood and guts, all that kind of stuff that you see in those kind of movies. But if you can push through that, it's a good watch. It's one of those that I consider a hidden gem if you don't know about this movie already. But yeah, anyway, so there's a lot of parts and pieces and stuff just flying all out of the, you get the picture. I don't have to paint that story for you guys, you know what I mean? But basically, you get from there, they were able to successfully jump behind enemy lines, and from that point they all get scattered because no one was able to get to their jump point like they wanted to. And then the main guy, who was Boyce, he actually was able to land successfully, and they all run to a local town, which is called Siblanc. And that is where they met Chloe. Chloe was actually looting bodies. She was, to kind of make it, just to put it frank, she was looting bodies for, I guess, not paraphernalia, but like their stuff, just their mentionables, photos and jewelry and stuff like that. So that's what they was doing. They caught her out there, and they told her to take her back to the base. From there, we finally get a first taste of Waffner, who is the Nazi man in charge of that town, which is Sablanc. You find out he has a love interest and all that cool stuff. Probably not a love interest, but like a interest in Chloe. But one thing I would say in terms of the dynamic of the characters, it was okay. The characters in particular that I didn't like, surprisingly, was the protagonist. I didn't feel he was. I felt like one thing you're gonna find out, he is of strong moral beliefs. He just, it's like he's always good. I mean, and within a World War II movie where you think at some point your good morals would be tested, it felt like he always played the role of, I need to do what's right. This is not right, or he'll go against command of Ford, basically saying like, well, no, I don't want to do that, which is crazy because he's a private. Like I'm not a military guy. I mean, hey guys, if you guys are military guys, drop in a comment and let me know if you can do this in the military. But I'm quite confident you can't. But he's going against his order from his superiors, and basically said, no, I'm going to do this because this is morally right thing to do. So you kind of run into that for the duration of the doggone movie, and it just gets tiresome to a point where I'm like, man, like, why this guy? Why he has to be the protagonist? Sorry. But just to kind of go to what happens, they split up. Jovan pretty much finds out that there is a hidden base or a hidden laboratory that the Nazis been working on, and they're working on a serum that gives their soldiers, they're fallen, mind you, they're fallen soldiers, so they're dead, may he rest in peace kind of thing. They're fallen soldiers, superpowers. And the serum, from what Waffner mentioned, who, like I said, is the antagonist of the movie, is made out of a tar that is growing or that is flowing underneath the city. That's why they chose to fortify their base next to the city. So they found out that the tar underneath the city is what they were using as a key ingredient in the serum to create these super soldier Nazi zombies. But one thing you find out is, like I mentioned, Boyce, he finds out that this lab is going down, and it pretty much, in short, becomes a war between those group of people that survived the paratrooper attack on their plane, and the Nazis and Waffner, in the city. So you kind of have a fight between those two. But the middle parts is to be desired. I mean, I did like the movie because I'm more of an action guy. I like to see action. I like to see, crazy sci-fi things. Like, sci-fi is my favorite genre to watch. So you definitely get a lot of that because, like I said, it's a Nazi zombie movie. So you get a lot of, creepy experiments and, people that look like Ryan Reynolds' version of what's that guy? He played on X-Men. He played that creepy character with his lips all closed off, and like they all creepy looking like that. But you get all that in the movie, so you get a lot of content. But one thing that I would say that they did miss out was substance. It wasn't a lot to really fall back on, which you can't really expect for it to have a great story. Like, it's already peeling off of a lot of history content, so just kind of creating like a cradle of sci-fi within a realistic time frame. They just gave a city some tar within World War II or D-Day in this particular case, and they said, hey, let's just create Nazi zombies. So it wasn't really original, but it was okay. I mean, I enjoyed the movie. Like, there was a lot of action, like I mentioned. There's a lot of guts and all the other unmentionables. And surprisingly, I loved Waffner. That's my dude. He wasn't the greatest. I mean, obviously he's a bad guy. We're not supposed to like the bad guys, but I couldn't like the good guy. I didn't like the protagonist, so I was like, well, shoot, who's next in line? It was Waffner. Waffner was legit. I really liked him a lot. His character was very unique. He had a lot to bring to the table. But one thing that, the movie took a turn when they got to the lab and the team got to the got in the fortified base to try to destroy the radio transmitter. When that happened, it was just action from the duration of the movie, which was awesome. So, from there, you kind of realize that they do. I mean, obviously spoilers, guys. I mean, come on now. This is a review. So they were successful in destroying the transmitter, and at the same time, they also were successful in blowing up the laboratory that had the serum. So they was able to destroy that too. But one of the best scenes was the showdown between Ford and Waffner, and they both took the serum, and the protagonist, I'm not protagonist, but the antagonist, which is Waffner, he took 2 doses, so he's like super yoked and evil, and it's just nasty, and it was perfect. I was like, oh man, this guy looks awesome. I'm gonna drop a picture right now, so you guys kind of see what he looks like. Like, you can see his face is all like nasty and all ripped up. It's like, ooh, but he played that role of that no feelings, just pure evil Nazi, kind of portrayal they put in these kind of movies. Like, he played it through and through, and he did an excellent job. But yeah, it was a massive fight at the end. Long story short, Boyce becomes, he comes out the hero. Obviously, they had to, and that was the end of the movie. Like I said, there's not too much substance to it. It's a zombie movie, so don't expect the Academy. Is it Academy Award? Don't expect the award for it, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So the review. So surprisingly, I gave this movie a B. I thought it was good. You get what you pay for. I mean, you're not getting what you pay for, but you kind of know what you expect from this movie. You're not going to get any award-winning acting, but one thing that really captivated me was the special effects. Special effects in this movie were bar none. Like, they were amazing. Between the zombies or the super soldiers, you want to call them, to just the cringy scenes of like what happened when they take the serum. Like, there's a scene that I'm leaving out because I want you guys to watch it, and it involves Chase, the photographer. I'm not gonna say anything else. I want you guys to watch it. I want you guys to drop a comment and let me know when you saw that. And let's have a discussion. Let's kind of just talk about, hey, what happened, and what was your guys' initial review, for yourselves when you saw that part with Chase. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna say nothing else. But I want you guys to do that and just send me, drop a comment, and we have a chat and talk about it. But that was really a crazy scene. I really liked it a lot. But that was what the movie gave you. It gave you a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and it was to the point where it kept me and my lovely wife, my queen, captivated to keep watching this movie. She enjoyed it, and she's not a big horror and scary movie kind of buff, but we both liked it a lot. So I definitely would, like I said, give it I think I said a B. So like a strong B or B plus maybe. And in terms of my thick boy review, I'll give it a yeah, bro. Like, it's one of those movies where I think if you just want to watch a movie for free, I think we saw it on Prime Video. So if you want to just turn a movie on and just for a night and just jam out to a different type of movie, or if you feeling a little bit of a love lost from them sorry versions of The Walking Dead, which I'm looking at you season 8, 9, and 10. Overlord will give you that. It's not a long movie. It's like an hour and 45 minutes, but it'll give you what you need. So yeah, in short, check it out. You guys like it. So hey, thanks for watching my review of Overlord. I do appreciate it. If you did get to the end of the video, thank you. Thank you. All these views are definitely appreciated, and it's helping me build up my channel and giving more content for you guys. So I do appreciate that. Please, if you like the content, please like and subscribe and hit the bell notification for future content. As always, I post every week new content. So definitely be on the lookout for that. I got some things down the line that I'm going to definitely check out and view for you guys, for my peoples. So be on the lookout for that. But as always, thank you, and Thick Boy out. Peace.